Hello. Welcome to a rebranding of our podcast. We're not actually sure what we're going to call it. So, you haven't heard from us, and we're formerly known as Coffee Glasses and a Ponytail, if you'd like to check out those videos, I suppose. But it's been, how long?
1 week since you looked at me.
6 months?
I had to the sides and I'm angry. Anyway.
8 months? I don't know. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Third day. Anyway.
Yeah. So, no particular reason why we didn't really do it. We just kind of stopped doing it, lost track of doing it.
Life happened.
Life happened. Basketball and school started again and just all of the things. So, we figured we'd start it up again. We don't really have, we're not doing a read through or talk about movies we've seen still or books we've read, recommendations. So I think we'll still try to do maybe every couple weeks, no more than that. But for sure once a month, try to not let the months roll on. And we'll try to, things we talk about, we'll try to provide links in the description articles so you guys can check out things that we have liked or have read or have seen or whatever. But I think for this week and maybe for the next couple weeks, we're going to kind of talk about book recommendations, and we're going to talk about endings of series that we like or don't like for various reasons, and then maybe talk about I don't know, just nothing really in structure-wise particular, just whatever kind of strikes our fancy as we read through things or watch things. So, I'm Brandon, and this is...
Hi, I'm Molly.
Yeah. Well, probably should have introduced that first, so you know who you're listening to. But, as you'll see, this is not really, we're just having fun. So, probably breaking some rules, not really worried about the analytics or anything. We're just having fun.
What?
Analytics.
What is that?
So people can find you by searching terms, you use terms that are frequently searched for in your inbox. That would be probably not a... Maybe people type up ka-chow, I don't know.
Ka-chow.
So, but yeah, so this will just be something we kind of have fun doing and talk about things. Hopefully you guys like it, and if not, we're having fun doing it. So, this week we're doing book recommendations. One of the recommendations is going to be a series we have read together, and then a couple of them are just going to be things we read separately and like for various reasons. So, you want to do the one we did together, or you want to do yours first, or?
The one we did together.
Okay. Which was?
Mistborn.
By Brandon Sanderson.
Oh.
He is awesome because he actually finishes the things that he starts. Unlike George R. Martin or Patrick Rothfuss, who... I went to a Comic-Con here in town when we lived at our old house, probably 12 years ago now, when each of them had come out with their latest book. For Patrick Rothfuss, it was the second of his trilogy, and for George R. Martin, it was, I think, book 6. And 12 years later, we're still waiting for those books. So, Brandon Sanderson finishes things. So,
You're not bitter.
well, if you're going to do something, finish it. So, we've read Steelheart of his. It's pretty good. We talked about that one. The Arithmetist, did you read that?
Yeah.
That was another good one. That was
still hasn't finished the second
a
book, though.
standalone. Yeah,
It's supposed to be a second one.
Was it supposed to be a second one? So, and then we have also read the first 4 books of the Stormlight Archives together. I mean, not together, but we've each read them.
That's so much better, Dad.
I'm sorry.
Look what you did.
And the 5th one of those is supposed to be out this year, I think. So, but the one that we actually read together and that he finished, it's his Mistborn series. So, you want to talk about it? What's some things you liked about it, or why would you recommend it?
Because it was good. I don't know.
Yeah, it was good.
It didn't suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the the magic system was, I guess they're going to be doing a series on it, supposedly. They're going to do like a TV series, which I'm curious how the magic system will work on like TV. I think it would be cool because they, without explaining, it's kind of hard to explain, but you ingest various metals, which then allow you to have certain powers by pushing or pulling on whatever metal you have ingested. And it allows you to kind of be weightless or to pull a heavy object towards you or to be pulled towards so it's just kind of a cool magic system. The story itself, it's nice, I think, because it's a big story, but it's not like 90 characters you have to kind of keep track of and know who's where, and it's like 4 main people, something like that. Is it a little bit more than that? It's not. Not many.
I think there's 6 or 7.
Yeah, but easy to keep track of. And it's not even like 25 locations. It's kind of, if a new thing is introduced, it allows you enough time to kind of get familiar with it without then jumping you to some other new place and then some other new place. And he writes very, I would say his world building maybe isn't like, I don't know, George R.R. level, where it's massive worlds and histories, but it's enough where you kind of have an idea of where this place would be in the world, and then it has boundaries, and the characters are really good. You want to talk about the surprise of there will be spoilers. Because that's kind of why we're
Way to clarify that at the beginning.
Yeah. So, because that's the fun. We're doing our own thing here. Do you want to talk about the spoiler at the end of the first book?
Hold on, I'm gonna switch my chair.
You gonna switch your chair?
Yeah, I want it back.
Oh, you want it back? Okay. So she's gonna go switch your chair. Oh yeah. It's the same chair, but just with a back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't work.
No. She's not quite heavy enough to have the little weight thing of her chair to go down. She's having to fight. She may have to scrunch down.
No, it didn't work.
No, we didn't.
You had to push down on it. Yeah!
There we go. So now she has it back. So you want to talk about the ending or the surprise?
Well, one of the main characters dies.
Yeah, which you don't really, and you wonder because he's such a good character, and you kind of wonder if he's really dead, because just kind of how things happen in the story. You wonder if it's if he really did die, or if it's like one of those false deaths where you're like, oh, he'll be back in the next book because of.
No, he's really dead.
He's really dead, and it
doesn't.
So,
does he get like punched in the face really hard or something? Or does he get stabbed?
He gets stabbed, I think, by one of the what are they called?
No, he got stabbed by the king.
Oh yeah, but the king had the powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but he was fighting for the things he believed in and was willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good, to continue on with the fight or whatever. And there's a lot of twists along the way. The ending is a little too maybe happy, I think, or too maybe went too far. It concluded and then it kind of maybe went a little too far. But overall, it's a great story. It's got twists and turns.
Yeah. A
surprise kind of ending. It's really, really good. So I liked it a lot. I
liked it.
Recommend it. There is a second trilogy of in the Mistborn, I guess, universe. Although Cosmere, they're all kind of one place, but it takes place in the same planet that we have not read yet, but we have it on our list of things to read.
Which one?
The Lost Alloy.
Those.
Yeah. And I've heard they're not quite as good, but I've heard they are good. So,
okay.
So you want to talk about the Children of Ragnarok?
I mean, it's been a while since I've read it. Probably like a year or two.
Yeah.
But I remember it was good because it was more of like a tamer story, but you could still like follow along. It was kind of long, but I thought it was good. And the ending, it kind of left off on a cliffhanger because there's supposed to be more books coming out, but I don't know if the second one has come out or not.
Oh, we should look. It's been a while.
Yeah, but it was good. I liked it.
Yeah. What was it? What was like a synopsis of what was?
There's this family. I hope I'm getting this right. There's this like family on a farm or whatever, and the oldest or the two oldest kids or something, they like leave because they have this pendant from their dad that people are trying to hunt down or whatever, and so when they're leaving, they like come across. I mean, I don't really know. I'm probably saying like all of this wrong, but they come across. I don't know if like people pick them up or if they're like captured or whatever, but they're taken to this island, and the older brother who has the pendant, he's like taken captive or something, and he has to. I think he has to fight. I could be wrong, but. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I probably, like, totally botched that, but that's what I remember from it.
Is Ragnarok, like, does it have anything to do with,
Ragnarok is the stone.
But does it have anything to do with, like, Norse mythology?
Yes.
Okay, so they're taking it from that.
It's like, Viking type era.
Cool. So, was Thor going to show up?
No. Oh. Didn't show up in the first one. Or
maybe Loki? There's copyrights, whatever.
Yeah, can't really do that.
Okay. All right.
To pay some money.
So, recommend? Yes?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, we'll do, you want to do 10-star ratings or 5-star ratings? I like 10 because I think it's a little
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, okay. What would you give Mistborn?
8 out of 10.
I'd give Mistborn probably...
or maybe a 9.
8.5 maybe. We'll do, 0.5s, whatever.
0.5? No.
8.5. 8.5, yeah. It's like not quite a 9, but it's really good.
I would say it's a 9.
It's pretty good. So I have read Dune. The introductory, just Dune, the first book of the series of 6 books. I read it once a year for before I was married 22 years ago. So I love that book. Yeah. The series itself, I would probably say in total of 6 books, it's probably like a 7.5 is the series. There's some weak books and some stronger books, so kind of averages out to probably 7.5. Really good series. But Dune itself is probably like a 9.5. I mean, for me, it has all of the things that I enjoy. Religion, politics, betrayal, war, space travel. It's good storytelling. If I was to critique it, I would say the dialogue may not be the strongest. But overall, I like how they don't use computers anymore because way back in the past, computers kind of rose up. It was like the AI. The computers kind of rose up and they had to shut it all down. So they have mentats, which are basically humans that have been trained to use their mind to such a level that they can act as the computations that computers used to be able to do. But yeah, it's just a really great series. I mean, sure people have heard of the movies are out now. They're really good. I was talking to my wife. We just went to go see the second one, and I'm not sure if the movie was really, really good, or if movies nowadays are just so bad that just a good movie seems really awesome. But I mean, I left the theater and was ready to go back in and see it again. I loved it. I loved the movie. It's better than the first one, I think, which is weird for movies. I think the first movie.
Seen either of them.
I offered to watch the first one with you.
I don't want to watch everything.
Broken Heart.
Oh, well.
So the first one, I don't think had enough of a story. The first movie, enough of a story to it. It's been more time, I think, making it pretty. While the second one, there was a lot of the story to it. So, but overall, I would highly recommend Dune. And then my next recommendation would be a series called Red Rising. And we'll have links to all the books, whatever. What?
Was that the one with which one was the one with the mist that you said?
That was called The Mist. It was it was a short story by Stephen King, which the short story itself is very good. It's probably 20 pages, something like that. But the movie that I think
they made a movie out of a 20-page book.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah. The short story itself is kind of ambiguous in the ending. You don't really get an ending. But the movie by, I think, Frank McDermott, I think was his name, something like that. You get an ending and it's awesome. Yeah, it's a big twist. Yeah. So, but Red Rising by, I'm going to say Pierce Brown, I think his name is. Not so much. It's kind of about. There's a class system in these planets, so there's space travel in our solar system. I don't think it goes beyond our solar system.
Okay.
And it's set far into the future, but there's a caste system basically where the golds are the best, that they're genetically modified and are the richest families and the most powerful, and they kind of rule over everything, and everything, all the other systems. All the other castes, the pinks and the browns and the reds, they all are the support. Like the reds are from Mars, and they work in mines.
Imagine.
Yeah, the pinks are the ones that they are like the prostitutes. They're the like sexual class or whatever, and they serve the gold. And it's just about this one guy that has had enough. He's a red.
Is he red? Yeah. Okay.
He's red. He's from Mars. The thing that kind of pushes him over the edge is he just wants to work and get married and start a family, and he ends up going someplace he shouldn't have gone, and the Golds find out about it, and they kill his girlfriend. And so that kind of is the thing that pushes him over the edge. And so he goes through, it's 6 books right now, the 7th final one is coming out this year. And it's just about him kind of, the process of him rising up through the ranks. There's a resistance, and they modify his body so he fits in with the golds, and it talks about that. He goes to school, and he kind of loses sight, because as you get to know people, even your enemies, you get to know them, and they're not, most of the golds aren't evil, they're nice people, and so he's kind of has to deal with, he wants his revenge, but it's these people that he's actually become friends with, and there's a lot of political intrigue. It goes on, and he becomes more and more powerful, and there's wars, and there's a lot of betrayal and intrigue, and it's just it's not quite as probably not as quite as in detail as far as the religion of like a Dune, but the politics of the series is really good, and there's a lot of betrayals, and do you trust this person? Do you trust that person?
That's what I liked about Mistborn too, was it wasn't just like a story, there was like political stuff that they had to take into account.
Yeah.
Which was kind of different, because it made it more realistic, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like back in the day, I loved like the Chronicles of Narnia. When I first read them, they were fine. But it's all very surface. There's a deep meaning to it, but it's all very. You don't. It's kind of surfacey. I mean, it's about God, and I mean, so in that sense, there's a theological depth to it, but you don't feel. I think because there's political stakes, and you get to know these characters more and more. I think you feel a real attachment to the characters, and a real like wanting. Like I didn't. What were the names in Narnia? Peter, Susan.
Peter, Joe.
I mean, he didn't want
Joe?
bad things to happen to him, but he really wasn't invested
But
in
it
them.
wasn't like, oh no. It was
Right.
more like, oh.
Yeah, like when people died
Sucks to suck.
Yeah. When people died in Mistborn or in Red Rising or in not even really so much Dune, but for sure in Mist and Red Rising.
Jaw drop.
Well, yeah, there's places. Oh my gosh, I loved that character. He was so a lot of people would maybe call it grim dark, but that's more fantasy. It's kind of just a dark science fiction, but it's a really good story. I like it a lot. The character has flaws, so. And then my last. They've all been kind of either fantasy or science fiction, but this is just a fiction book called The Winds of War. I used to watch this series with my parents. It was on like ABC, like when I was 13 years old, and it's just basically what the events that take place either right before World War II and just at the beginning of the war of this family. You follow this. I think it's a naval family.
Oh, so is the family? Are they like? Was it a real story or is it like?
No, I mean World
War. So it's a
no.
nonfiction.
No, World War II. I mean, obviously happened, but
Yeah.
it's just following this fictitious family. I think the patriarch, the dad, has kind of been in the Navy for a while, and I think his son joins up and get married, and somehow I think maybe they get. It's been years since I've read it, but I think maybe they get stationed over in Germany and then they realize war's coming and they kind of have to figure out ways to get out and they get stuck. I mean, it's like all the things that happened in Poland, and so it was like a 4-part miniseries, and I read the book a while ago, and it's really good. It's probably one of my most enjoyable just fiction books. I'm more partial to science fiction, fantasy, or whatever, but it was just a really good story. A lot of good characters. About the suckiness of war.
I like Hunger Games too, but I think like everybody has read those books.
I have not read the Hunger Games.
Okay, well everybody but you.
I've seen the movies. I like the movies.
I did not like the movies at all. I think they didn't portray the characters as well as the books did.
What do you mean? I mean, because I haven't.
Like, Gale in the movies, he was more like passive aggressive towards her in the movies, where in the book you could tell he like actually cared for her.
Okay.
Like, he actually wanted the best for her.
Yeah.
But in the movies it seems like he just like off puts her, like you're an option.
What about? What was the guy's name?
Peter?
Yeah.
I think he's portrayed relatively well in the movies.
Because in the book it seems like he likes her more than she likes him.
Yeah.
No, in the movie, I'm not sure about the book. It's kind of the same.
The way, yeah, that's the same. That aspect of their relationship or whatever.
Yeah. I was kind of looking forward to whatever the new movie was. I was hoping it was going to be more of what led up to the Hunger Games starting than just kind of when the Hunger Games had already started. So I didn't go see it because I was disappointed that it wasn't going to be about that. But you and Colt.
Yeah, I went to see it. I mean, what do you want to know about it?
What did you think of it? I mean,
I was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me that it was gonna be like, because I hadn't read the book about it, but you told me that it was gonna be about how the Hunger Games came about, but that was not what it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I kind of went in
misinformed.
with like the expectation of that.
Yeah.
But it was more about how the Capitol, everybody was losing interest in the Hunger Games and they were losing funds.
Oh.
So they needed a new way to get people back into it and get people interested. So they added mentors.
Okay.
And it did say how the Hunger Games came about because, like, near the end of the movie, that's what they said. They, like, started to explain it more. But, I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite.
Didn't you say it was like really? Was it bloody? Like,
No, it wasn't bloody.
What
Just-
was the?
Well, I mean,
Because I thought you were like, you didn't really like.
I just didn't like it.
Oh, you didn't like it.
I just didn't
overall.
like it.
Oh,
Yeah. I just thought, yeah. I don't know.
okay.
President Snow. 10 out of 10.
Oh, all right. Just the young presidents? No,
Yeah.
no. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him or Justin Herbert?
You'll never know.
Yeah, I'll never tell. All right. So yeah, I mean, we could probably do more recommendations at some point.
I'd also say Watership Down.
Oh, that's right. I've never read that. I was gonna. It's been your favorite book consistently since the first time you read it. You're how old?
No idea.
You're pretty young. I mean,
I don't remember.
So,
6?
but
7? 7th grade.
Nothing's really taken its place.
No.
It's been her top book for a long time. So.
Because there's also sort of politics in that. There's like conflicting interest of two. Yeah.
And is it? I don't know anything about it. Is it like about rabbits?
It's about, yes.
Are they talking animals? Like
they don't talk to humans.
Right. Okay. Right.
But
obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like Lord of the Rings in a sense that they have their own language. So some of the words are like substituted in.
Okay.
And they have like, well, at least mine does. It has like a key in the back. So if you're like, what the heck was that?
Nice.
Then you can flip to the back and there's a key that will tell you.
So what is in like 4 sentences? Like what is the premise? Like I mean what is it about? Because I just see the picture of the little bunny on the cover, and like with like grass behind him. Like that's all I've ever.
A rabbit who gets tired of his warren. That's what they're called.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he gets a group of people to leave, and they find a new place for their warren. But it's all male rabbits,
okay.
So part of it is that they have to go find does.
Right.
And then the other part is that there's conflicting warrens around them that are trying to fight for that spot because they don't want them there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's good. I would recommend it.
All
I
right.
like it.
Yeah. All right.
You should read it.
Maybe I will.
You should.
Maybe I will. You should read Dune.
It takes a minute to get into the story because it's kind of slow.
Okay.
That's
all right. I mean,
but
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. So it's actually one of the American classics that's actually good. I guess, is it considered an American classic?
It's a British guy wrote it.
Oh, so a British classic.
It's
Shows you what I know about
British
Watership
literature.
Downs. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we'll probably continue to do some recommendations. I think next time I want to talk about like either movies or book endings that we just either loved or hated. Just because there's some really good endings and there's some books you like that really, or movies that really sucked. Because you invest all this time, especially if it's like a series, and you get to the end and you're like, you suck.
I would also recommend Aragon, but don't expect it to have a good ending.
Yeah, yes,
dumb.
That is it really is.
There were a lot of really good characters, and there was a lot of really good character build. Like, they grew as people throughout the series. Well, most of them.
The dragons were cool.
Yeah, there's dragons.
Yeah, but they're cool. It's a cool story.
Yeah.
But yes, the ending... it finally got to the ending, and you're like, okay, how's he going to do this?
You're really expecting something great,
but we'll talk about it.
Literally kill him with kindness. Literally kill them with kindness.
Ruined it. We'll talk about that next time.
I don't even care.
It was very disappointing.
Really
for such it's young adult, right?
Yeah.
You would say, yeah. The author that wrote it started when he was 13. So, I mean, that's awesome. You could be 13 years old and begin writing, get published. But yeah, what were you going to say?
Maze Runners. That's
Never
a really good
either.
book. You should.
I want to see the movie.
That's a really good book, too.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. I want to see the movie.
You're really confused at the first, 5 episodes or something. Or, not episodes. Whoa. Chapters.
Yeah.
Because there's, you're just, dropped into a story.
Okay. Yeah, I read when I was, I don't know.
It makes, what's the books before the actual series? What are those called? Like the prequel?
Prequels.
A prequel? They have a prequel too.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend reading the prequel first because it's really interesting just being like dropped in the story and like trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
So
My last actual recommendation is that will be a story that was like that. So it's a series by Stephen Erickson called Malazan Book of the Fallen or something like that. But the second book of the series is called Dead House Gates. Mom got it for me because I was sick or whatever, and she was nice enough. She stopped by and got me a book. I think the cover looked cool, and you
such
literally
a mom thing. The cover looks cool. I think you'll like it.
You really are dropped in to just these people are traveling somewhere. No,
That's the second book intro.
Yeah, that you're just dropped in. So I'm reading this book, and then I go to the front of it, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is book 2 of a 10-part series."
Oh my
But
word.
I also then I read it all the way through, and honestly, I would say it might be after Dune. This is probably my favorite book.
Really?
I've read this book probably 3 times, not as often as Dune, but 3 times. And the story and the ending is just brutal, which we can talk about. I mean, brutal.
Oh, was that the? Yeah, okay.
But we'll talk about that. And I've tried to read the series. I wouldn't recommend the series because it's so many characters.
You would just recommend the first and second books so that you're not dropped into the second book.
Well, some of the books are standalone books. These characters weren't actually introduced in the first book.
Oh.
So it was actually lucky enough.
Just read the second one.
It was one of those books where you just, it's all new characters, all new location, but it's a broad story, and there's so many characters in this 10-part series, 10-book series, and so many locations. I just got to be overwhelming, and I got to like book 7, and I couldn't finish it. I just couldn't finish it.
That's really lame.
We'll have to talk about Neil Stephenson's series, books I've tried to read before too. I can't. He's supposedly
I've never
awesome.
picked up a book and not read it.
I've done it.
Wait, yes, I have. Treasure Island.
Oh yeah, for school. Don't lie. We won't post this stuff until school's over. Yeah. No, I've never read it. I've seen the
book.
I think I've seen the movie or a movie
There's a
adaptation
movie?
of it. There's a.
Why couldn't I just
I think
watch the
it's a
movie?
Disney movie. I think like way back in the day. Is that where they got Long John Silver from?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Great fast food restaurant, by the way. Really good fish and chips.
I don't know what this is about.
So, but anyway, we'll talk about some endings next time, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. Anything else? Any other last book recommendation?
No.
All right. Well, I'm Brandon, and this has been
What?
name.
Oh, Molly.
Insert name.
Hey.
And we'll come up with. I think we're going to do a new name going forward, and so we'll come up with something like that and get some things put together. There'll be, like I said, thumbnails and hopefully where you can buy the books that we've talked about down below. And until then, like and subscribe to whatever this turns out being.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Make good life choices.
Unless they're prescribed.
Right, by a doctor.
Yeah.
Authorized medical professional. Right.
A doctor.
Right. Yeah. Not your friends. Doctor.
A doctor.
Unless your friend is a doctor.
Right.
Yeah. Don't trust this one. All right. Till then, thanks guys for watching. Talk to you later. Bye. Peace out.